Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. In today's video, we are going to take a look at getting started with the Bretonnians in Warhammer the Old World. Now we're going to take a look at doing this using the Bretonnians army box set. We'll look through all the units that come inside the box set, talk about exactly what they are and what they can bring to your force on the tabletop. Then we'll also look at a variety of different units that we can use to expand upon the initial box set and build us towards a final 2000 point army list for the Old World that we'll show at the end of the video. And so, inside the box set, there are 78 plastic miniatures, a full-size rulebook, build instructions, and a sample army roster of 1250 points. Now we'll be using this sample army roster as a place to build from for our full 2000 point army list that we'll show at the end of the video. Alongside all of this though, you'll receive some dice, measuring tools, and templates for use inside your games. Now to begin with, the first unit we're going to talk about is the Lord of Bretonnia. Now this model is mounted on a royal Pegasus and it can be built to represent either a Duke, Baron or Paladin, 3 different levels of Knightly Lord character. Now you'll only get the combat weapon option profiles in this for the model, you don't get the parts for the battle standard bearer, though with some spare bits from other kits inside the box set, along with some nice little converting, you could easily make this model into a battle standard bearer if you wish to. The Lord of Bretonnia is a dedicated combat character with access to a wide variety of weapons and magical item options, along with special knightly virtues, a unique Bretonnian upgrade. You can tool this model up in a variety of different roles for your force, and being mounted on a Pegasus makes this model pretty darn fast. It can fly as you would expect, and it makes it super mobile on the table. Next up, we have 12 Bretonnian Knights of the Realm, which can also be built as the Impetuous Knights Errant. Both are solid heavy cavalry options, and the Knights of the Realm represent the core of your mounted force of Bretonnian Knights. They're a heavy cavalry unit that has access to a cheap magical standard, and meanwhile your Knights Errant, they're young knights that are just beginning their life in the saddle and have some impetuous rules. Both units have the Knight's Vow, allowing them to ignore panic from nearby peasant units, and the Finest Warhorse roll will allow them to reroll natural ones for any charge, flee or pursuit rolls. 36 men-at-arms join these knights, standard peasant infantry armed with unique polearms that can allow the front rank to fight using 2 hands for bonus strength and armor penetration, while the latter ranks can support these to fight in extra ranks. Something else unique about this unit is the ability to take a Grail Monk, a second champion option for the unit, which can be equipped with a Blessed Triptych, which gives the unit the Stubborn special rule. From these models you can also convert up a character called the Sergeant at Arms, a special peasant character which can stop friendly peasant units nearby from fleeing due to panic from other peasantry units. More peasants then join these models in the form of 28 peasant bowmen. They are equipped with longbows, quite nice, as the Bretonnians do not have a lot of long-range firepower, as the knights see it as a form of cowardice to kill an enemy from afar. Better to leave that dishonourable stuff to the peasants. The unit has the ability to take a few unique upgrades from Burning Braziers, which give them flaming attacks, to the defensive states, which can make enemy units' charges count as disordered against them. These models can also be used to represent squires, peasants who matter enough for the highborn knights to actually look at them. This unit is slightly more expensive than your regular archers, but will gain both the Vanguard rule, allowing to make pre-game moves, and the move through cover rule for traversing the Old World's more perilous battlefields. Lastly, inside the box we have 3 Pegasus Knights, and as with our Lord, the Pegasi these Knights are mounted on, allowing them to act as a fast-moving reactionary or a disruptive unit on the tabletop. They have the Knight's Vow, same as the Knights of the Realm for ignoring fleeing peasants, but also have the Dispersed Formation, Swift Stride and Skirmishers rules to allow them a lot more movement of freedom on the tabletop. Now, looking at the contents of the box, as mentioned, there is a 1250 point list inside, and so in the next part of the video we are going to look to build upon the list that is presented there and bring the force to 2000 points in total. So let's get cracking into that. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames, from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. To begin with next, the first thing we don't have inside the initial box set that Bretonnia does have access to is magic. Handmaidens of the Lady are fairly decent wizards, not only having access to a fairly solid, well-rounded magic lore in the Lore of the Lady, but also grant magical attacks to the unit they join. Lastly, they can actually be very well protected in a unit with the Chivalrous Vow, ergo units of knights that actually allow them to sort of retreat back into the unit when they get into combat. They have the option to be taken as a level 1 or 3 caster, depending whether you go for a damsel or you go for the prophetess, and both these options can upgrade a further wizard level. Though you can't go from say 2 to 3, it must be 3 to 4 or 1 to 2 on the options. They can be upgraded as well with a variety of different magical items, and there's some really fun ones inside the Bretonnian army list, and you've also got the option for mounts, including a nice and magical unicorn. Now, joining our damsel in the characters, we then have the Bretonnian Battle Standard Bearer. This is a must for a Bretonnian force. For me, you know, Bretonnian's Battle Standard Bearer is sort of the colours of your army, the colours of your Lord flying high. Now, the Battle Standard Bearer has a few different options in how you can purchase this model. We have the Royal Pegasus version on there. We also have the foot and mounted one, which come in a 2-pack. Now, you don't have to actually pay for your battle standard like a lot of other armies do when playing for Bretonnia, and also something else unique is that you can take the magical standard worth any points value you want on top of your magical items, where other armies normally have to give up the magical items in order to do so. This is especially good as it allows you to really tool up and protect the character, but also still allow them to be a damage dealer. Now, the most important thing about a Battle Standard Bearer is the Standard Fast rule. This allows them to reroll fail, panic, rally and break tests of units nearby. Looking into other units though, the Knights of the Realm and Foot, I did briefly mention them in the Handmaidens talk there, but this is a really solid unit that can fill a full different roles inside the Bretonnian army, depending on how you equip them. A solid line unit to bodyguard a damsel if you're going for the hand weapon and shield option, or a more aggressive infantry unit to smash through enemy units if equipped with great weapons, they can really do some damage. The main thing this unit really provides though is an actual competent infantry unit on the table for your army that's not just chaff and distraction for your knights. They can actually allow you to have a solid battle line, so centering these guys in the center of your force is really nice, and back them up with peasants around them could be really nice to actually have a line that doesn't break like bread. Lastly, we then have Grail Knights, the heaviest of heavy cavalry in the Bretonnians army, 2 attacks each and weapon skill 6 standard, and access to a magical standard worth up to 100 points can allow for some really nice power combinations in the unit. Add to this that the champion can take both a knightly virtue and their own magical items, they're a great unit with that, but they also then each can independently issue challenges as if they were each a character. And so, first off, we have a Bretonnian Duke. This model is equipped with a lance and the Virtue of the Joust, which allows them to reroll wound rolls when using that lance. Along with the Grail Vow, this model will gain stubborn, magical attacks and immune to psychology thanks to this upgrade, and they've got the Royal Pegasus as their last upgrade, obviously with what the model itself is. A Prophetess upgraded to level 4 will join our Duke. This model is staying on foot and it's equipped with the prayer icon of Quenless to boost their dispel range and give them a bonus +1 modifier to dispel attempts. Lastly, for our heroes, we then have a Bretonnian Paladin mounted on a Bretonnian Warhorse. This model is carrying our battle standard, and then it's also equipped with magical items, the Enchanted Shield for a little bit of ward save protection, and the Burning Blade for flaming magical attacks. The model also has the Grail Vow. Now, moving into our infantry, we have 2 units of men-at-arms. Both of these are 18 models strong with full command and the Grail Monk upgrades as well, who has the Blessed Triptych for the Stubborn Special Rule. We then have a large unit of Peasant and Bowmen, 24 models strong with full command, burning braces and defensive stakes for flaming attacks and charge defense. Lastly, for our infantry, we have a unit of 20 Knights of the Realm on foot with hand weapons and shield, along with a full command. This is where the Prophetess will be going for the Force. This will give her some really solid protection, but also enable her to move up the battlefield and provide some more support if we need her to, thanks to just having a solid defensive unit around her. Moving into our cavalry, we have 2 units of Knights of the Realm. Both of these units are 6 model strongs and have a full command. The difference in the 2 units is the magical banners that they have. One is going to be equipped with the Infantry banner for +1 strength on the charge, and meanwhile the other has the War banner, which gives the unit an additional +1 combat resolution on top of the banner's normal combat resolution bonus. 3 Pegasus Knights will be joining them with just a basic champion upgrade, and our final unit for the force is going to be a unit of 5 Grail Knights with full command. This unit will be where the BSB goes and provide us with a solid hammer and central point for our Lancers of Knights in the army. That is it for the video though. We hope you both enjoyed it and found the advice and information here helpful. If you have any further questions, please comment them down below and we will try to respond to everyone we can. Thank you all for watching once again, and keep on fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now, everyone.